Welcome to our Mind the Moments Thursday morning gathering. Here we are, Thursday, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to discuss as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe, Palacino. So happy to be here this morning with Tara Healey, our friend, our mentor, our funny mindfulness instructor, founder and director. Yeah, she's founder and director of the Harvard Pilgrim's Mindfulness Program, but everything else. So good morning, Tara.
Oh, Suzanne, thank you for that kind intro. Good morning, everybody. Happy to be with you on this snowy, it's actually really icy here.
Yeah, actually, it's not bad
pretty
here.
Nonetheless, it's pretty.
I know you're a little ways farther west, but here it was just, it's getting a little mushy. So I'm going to have to go out and shovel the end of the driveway. It's not a lot of snow. So
yeah,
but it's going to get, tomorrow is going to be, it's going to be like a sheet of ice. So I'm like, okay, got to get ahead of this. Snowy in Minnesota too, Lee. Well, it's, it's time. As long as it's only a couple of weeks, and then the flowers can come back, right?
Yes. I mean, the shoots are already starting to come up. So
I know they're confused. Yes, but we need this moisture for all of them to thrive, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not rain, it's going to be snow. So we'll take it however it comes.
Right.
So nice to see everyone here. Nice to see everyone joining. Today, Tara will start us off. Well, actually, I'm going to start you off with a question this morning, kind of building on yesterday. And Tara will lead us in a guided practice. And after that, we'll have time for questions. The guided practice, for those that are new, it will be approximately 12 minutes. And that's the sweet spot that Dr. Amishi Jha from University of Miami, mindfulness researcher, has determined is the time frame with which you see some really important changes. So that's and in our minds, that's sometimes that can seem like a lot. Start with 5 and you'll get there. So nice to have everyone here. So with that, let's start off with a question. But when you go to the bottom of your screen, open up your chat. And when you open it up, you can click on the blue drop-down menu that says hosts and panelists. And you can click on the link that says everyone. So let's first settle the spirit here and just take, eyes open or closed, just take a few deep breaths. All right. And I use the term settle the spirit. I've been going to some talks every Sunday. And this person in a place, but we normally don't do that kind of a thing. Before he starts the session that he does, he says that. And everybody, you could just tell everybody connects with it, because everybody, this is a live place. You have to go, you have to find a seat, blah, blah, blah. But he does settle us with that, just that one moment of saying, settle the spirit, which I really love. So my question is, I'm going to use the same question as I did yesterday, because there was a lot of richness that came from the question. And my session yesterday, our session was, the name of it was Owning Our Life, and how that's gotten to be a term, owning it. You know what? I own it. I own my body. I own, so many things that we've decided to take back. And when I was coming to that, I thought about acceptance, and thought about accepting where you are right now, even if it's not what you want to be. So that's the question. What is something in your life you consider owning, that you could consider owning or accepting? And if you were on yesterday, you could use the same. Or if you're feeling something different, you could share something different. So as folks are thinking, Tara, what comes to mind for you?
Yeah, well, there are a few ways I could answer it, but I think, it often just depends what's going on in one's life at that moment. And, I think for me, I think a lot lately just about the aging process and all of what comes with that. Both limitations and expansions, some of the gifts of that, and also some of what's hard about it, and the
Yeah.
inevitability of it, and really letting go of resistance to the ever-changing nature of our lives, our thoughts, our emotions, our body sensations, our physical well-being, our mental well-being, like all of it is subject to change. And so, just seeing the truth of that. And no one's immune from it. So that's my answer.
Yeah. I get that, Tara. I feel like that, as we age and you see these people out in like public life that are our age, and you're like, wow, they're my age. And, I
Yeah.
feel like our age being like 50s,
Yeah.
60s or whatever, it's almost like it's like the 40s of, 60 is a new 40 or whatever they say.
Yeah.
But, at the same time, like you said, there's body changes. So there's a
Yeah.
lot to hold there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
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 And, what I shared yesterday with the group, if you weren't on, is I have a diagnosis. I have cancer. And that happened at the end of this past year. And, never anything that one would ask for or think is coming their way, especially as a healthy, active person. But it happens. It happens to a lot of people. And boy, it took me a couple of months. Well, it took me a solid month to even start telling more people, because I was like, I want to have a normal life. I want to feel like I'm not walking around as the person with cancer and poor Suzanne and that kind of thing. So talk about my new path. That's anytime I write anything, the title is my new path, and that it's just the way things are, and I'm going to heal. So that's my share. Lots coming in. My mistakes, lessons. Yeah. Sometimes when we give it a little time, that's what they turn into. My attitude. Yeah, I love that. Owning that my parents are aging. Yes, that's lots of that. My fear. Yeah, Eric, for sure. Owning and accepting that my business has changed over COVID. Anxiety, accepting that fear, accepting that friends come and go. My worrying out of love. And self-care. Everything changes, including me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Things change around us, John. How important, and how there's so much there. The waning of my professional career. My body no longer heals as well as I age, for sure. I need to commit to doing my physical therapy daily, keeping my body functioning well. Yeah, I've been through that. And sometimes it's so easy to put off. Accepting that people I thought were going to grow old with me are not. They've passed. Accepting that the only thing certain is change, health and age, trying to focus on the positive changes more. Boy, yeah. I knew after yesterday and Tara's recommendation that we continue that conversation, I knew there was a lot that we had out there yesterday. So I'm glad that we continued it.
Yeah.
For
Thank you,
sharing, everyone.
Suzanne. And, as we move into practice, and I think in everyone's comment, this is embedded in there, is this idea of constant change. And it's really deeply embedded in the practice of mindfulness and mindfulness meditation, and really learning through experience. So it's empirical, it's not a theory, but you actually learning through experience that everything changes. So that's why sometimes, and I'll suggest this to you today too, that if you have an itch, don't scratch it, but let your attention land on the sensations of the itch. And you'll see that whether you scratch it or not, the itch is going to go away. It's, it might increase in volume, it might decrease in volume, but it will not stay the same. And that's true with a cramp, a muscle ache. So anytime your attention is pulled away from your anchor, and for anybody new, an anchor is something that we give our attention to help steady the mind. It's what we return to, like breath sensation or sound or another body sensation, much like a boat's anchor. The boat moves away, but then that anchor brings it back. And then the boat moves with a current and that anchor pulls it back. So what we're doing is training our attention on an anchor. We're not trying to stop thought. We're just seeing when thought has entered. We can give it a name, thinking. That's the simplest. You could be specific, like planning or regretting, but I think, it's easy to make it simple and just thinking. Soften the body. There's always a very subtle contraction when thought slips in, and thought slips in unnoticed until we notice it. Soften the body, and then return to whatever you're using to help stabilize the wandering mind. But again, if your attention gets pulled by a sound, release the hold on that anchor and track the sound. So there's no need to fight with what's pulling your attention. You always just release and go to that thing with receptivity and curiosity, either hearing or feeling, So let's go ahead and start. And you can do this sitting, standing, or lying down. All three postures are fine for practice. If you're tired, I would say stand. If you're tired, keep your eyes open. But let's go ahead and assume a posture that feels like it's going to serve you best this morning. And eyes open or closed. And if they're open, gaze downward a bit. And take 2 deep breaths on your own as a way to settle in and settle any surface tension, just to settle in from the activity of your morning. So 2 deep breaths. Surrender your weight into the support of the surface. And feel that support beneath you, the support of the earth holding you. Softening the muscles of the body, yet maintaining a spine that is straight but not stiff. So settling into that posture. Noticing sound that might be in the room or outside of the room, just hearing. And allowing sound to remain as it will, bringing the awareness back into the whole body. Notice points of contact with the back of the body and the surface. And aware of any pulsing or vibration, tingling, temperature. What's the raw data your body is offering? Just receiving that. And let's begin to narrow the focus of attention from whole body awareness now to something a little bit more subtle, so that as you breathe in and out, where do you notice the sensations of the breath? Could simply be the movement of the body, and allowing that to serve as an anchor for the wandering mind. So you're tracking the movement, feeling internally from the inside out. Perhaps it's the rise and fall of the belly or the chest or the air entering and leaving the nostrils. And alternatively, if breath is challenging for you this morning, you could use sound if there is a consistent ambient sound in the room or outside of the room. And also find to use something else. So you could take the palms of your hands and rest them on your thighs. And that point of contact, the feeling, the actual feeling of that point of contact would be what you return to over and over again. So taking a moment to just explore what's going to work for you to help stabilize your attention. And for the remainder of the practice, my suggestion would be not to switch back and forth between different objects of attention, but to really stick with one thing. So if you're tracking breath sensation at the abdomen, as you breathe in and out, you are feeling from the inside out the expansion and contraction that is produced when you breathe in the belly. And of course, it's also fine to use movement, but again, you want to feel, where are you feeling the sensation of the movement? So, as always, I will be silent for the next 2 to 3 minutes. Noticing where the mind is, gently releasing the narrative, the memory, the planning, soften the body, and return to your anchor. Noticing where the mind is, softening the body and returning. And as we bring this meditation to a close, may we be peaceful and at ease. May our heart be soft and open. May we be safe and protected, and our bodies healthy and strong. And may the merit of our practice today be for the benefit of all beings. And if your eyes were closed and you feel ready, you can go ahead and open the eyes. And if they were open but gaze downward, it's always helpful to just reorient to the room that you're in. So take a minute to just kind of look around, do a little bit of a stretch, maybe shake out a bit. And let's
Thank you so much, Tara.
reconnect. Yes. And as always, happy to hear from anybody. It could be how that practice felt for you this morning. You know, what was your experience with practice? Because it varies so much from practice to practice. And I would also even watch labeling good or bad. It just is, you know, some practices are harder than others, and some feel really good. But it's going to vary. Again, which is the nature. It's nature. So anything you want to say about practice, any questions you have, any resources that you've come across lately that you want to share with the community? And that could be a book or an app. It could be, you know, a show you've watched or something you've listened to, really anything related to, you know, our topic of really cultivating wise minds and hearts.
I love the practice. I love the time of silence. I loved it all.
Oh,
So thank you, Tara. I was thinking as we were, before we started, I have poetry on I really connect with poetry. So I'm going to read this poem.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'll share it in the group. It's called This Is My Wish for You by Bessie A. Stanley. This is my wish for you. Comfort on difficult days, smiles when sadness intrudes, rainbows to follow clouds, laughter to kiss your lips, sunsets to warm your heart, hugs when spirits sag, beauty for your eyes to see, friendships to brighten your being, faith so that you can believe, confidence for when you doubt, courage to know yourself, patience to accept the truth, love to complete your life.
Beautiful.
As I went in my notes and asked for accept, and that's what came up. So challenging commute into the office this morning. Oh, and yes.
Yeah.
I zoned out for about 3 minutes without realizing it.
And then you realized it,
right?
Then you realize it. So that's, I just want to like emphasize that is a very natural experience. You know, because narratives and memories, they slip in unnoticed, and then we actually notice, and then we just reconnect.
Yeah. And Teresa, I'm glad that, you know, and there's always a different way to observe it. And I love how you've shared that.
Yeah.
There's always, you know, depending on how this discussion goes, we can always observe it in a different way during our
That's
practice.
right. yeah, in true form, this is impermanence. Yeah.
All those wishes come your way. There you go. Take it on. Yeah. We can all, her poetry reminded me a little of John O'Donohue. It's just a love of all things.
Remarkable human.
He is.
Yeah. Prolific and wise, and so much that he really left for us,
Thank you, Jamie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's so lovely to have this community to be with, and we all support one another. So yeah, we're all in it together. So thank you. Thank you for this session, Tara. Lozelle, I attended a work retreat and shared with my colleagues how life-changing this has been for me.
Oh, Lozelle.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
Yeah, share, have everybody come. It's so open, so open.
Yes. I mean, the beauty of this is an incredible community that has been built over so many, since the pandemic. We had no idea that we would continue. And so share it far and wide. It is available to anybody. And
John Roberts' baby, I mean, he was the creator of this, and it's just wonderful that we've kept it going. Yeah. So thank you, everyone. I know we're at 9:00. So thank you, Tara.
Yes.
What a nice practice to have, and hoping everybody's safe on their commutes and wherever you are. And if you're in the New England area, it's going to be super slippery. So please if you've heard of the yak tracks, put them on. So thank you, Kristen. I'm feeling the love. So thank you all. And we'll see you soon. We'll have a great weekend. We're here next week, and I have to check who we're here with. So
okay.
It'll be a surprise.
Yay.
All right. See you soon.
Thanks, Suzanne. Beautiful.
Thanks, Tara. Thanks, everyone. Bye.